Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. It's mid-September 2025 and it's very exciting because of course the Mig-29A Fulcrum has just been released in DCS in full fidelity. Just to make that clear, we have had the Mig-29A in DCS for many years, but it's been in low fidelity, a much more arcade experience where you can't press the buttons in the cockpit and stuff like that, and a lot of the systems aren't modelled. We now have, mercifully, the full fidelity version where the cockpit is now interactive and all of the subsystems are modelled, which is great. Today is going to be a first look and a general overview, but not a tutorial. So, first of all, just a titchy bit of history. This is the original Mig-29A variant. It entered service in 1983 as an air superiority fighter and interceptor with limited air-to-ground ability. Note the actual variant we have was modelled on a 1987 aircraft. It's very important to realise that time factor. This was designed to compete against such American adversaries as F-16A, so it's important not to think that it's going to compete with the more modern aircraft in DCS at longer ranges like the Hornet, like the F-16C. But in close range, she's going to be absolutely potent. Out of interest, 1,600 MiG-29s were built of various variants, and some of those variants are still in service today. The first thing we're going to do, viewers, is very important, to set the cockpit up to be English. Let me just show you. So we're going to do it from here, the main menu. We're going to go to Options. We're going to go to Special. We're going to scroll down until we find MiG-29 Fulcrum, not MiG-29. And we're going to go Customize Cockpit here. Instead of default, it's going to be English. What that will give us, and press OK there, is the dials and the labels will read in English, but as well as that, we'll change from a metric measuring system to an imperial measuring system. So we'll measure knots instead of kilometers an hour, feet instead of meters. So that's going to make it much more native to English or NATO type flyers. And here she is in the metal, and doesn't she look beautiful? First, let's look at liveries. It comes with Polish Air Force. It comes with, as standard, Kazakh Air Force. We have factory paint scheme. We have East German, Soviet times. We have Korean army, interesting. We have Russian, Soviet. We have Soviet. We have Syrian. We have a test. We have more Russian, and that's it. In terms of armament, it is identical as far as we can see to the low fidelity version that we have. But in case you don't have that, let's go over it now. Stations 5 and 6, we can have R60 aphid, a bit like an older Sidewinder, R60M, a slightly newer Sidewinder, but Russian obviously, and the mighty R73 Archer, a 1984 missile with vectored control all aspect missile, which can be targeted from a monocle in the visor of the pilot. We'll look at that later. Next, stations 3 and 4, we have the same missiles, but we also have bombs. Very quickly blast over this. BTAB, these are rocket assisted concrete penetrating bombs. FAB, general purpose bombs, and it tells you the size obviously. KMGU are cluster munition dispensers, but not cluster munition bombs. OFAB, another type of general purpose bomb. RBK are cluster munitions of different sub-munition warhead types. We can also have rockets, the mighty S-24 240mm diameter rockets, or pods of various warhead 80mm rockets there. In terms of 1 and 2, air-to-air missiles the same, but the introduction or the addition of medium-range missiles also. The Alamo R-27 radar-guided variant, a semi-active radar homing-guided variant, range maybe 30 miles. It's dynamic, obviously. Also, we have the T, which is a thermal-guided variant of it, if you like, a very big Sidewinder. Also, the extended range variant of it from the 1990s. We have the ER, the extended range radar-guided variant, range 40, 50 miles, depending on factors. And, of course, the thermal variant, the ET as well. Bombs are going to be the same as we saw before. Rockets are going to be the same as we saw before. And we have fuel tank in the middle of 1,400 litres. Speaking of fuel, standard internal max 7,443 pounds, very similar to the F-16, but it has two engines, two RD-33s, so fuel endurance may become a problem. We have a single 30mm gun, and you can have various types of ammo there, but the amount of rounds we can carry are very limited. So welcome viewers to the cockpit of the Mig-29. It looks very familiar, almost identical to the lower fidelity variant that we've had for a while, but of course is modelled in much more detail. We can turn the knobs and stuff, and as well as that, the actual graphics, the resolution and whatnot are obviously more high fidelity. We're going to have a quick look around. This is not a tutorial, just a chance for you to have a look around what it looks like in shade and in light. If I start back here, you can see all the lovely stuff going on. This is pretty much my first look, by the way, so yeah, don't expect me to tell you anything of interest here, but you've got some oxygen stuff here, radio panel here, some general stuff here, throttle quadrant there, obviously, flap controls there, various engine controls there, miscellaneous, I guess, here. You've got your flight augmentation system there. We have radar controls here. That's an interesting place to have them. Right next to the gear handle. Nothing can go wrong there. Gear handle there. Taxi light there. Admiral's doorbell there. Various weapons. Maybe a bit of radar stuff there. We've got our giant, or actually it's quite tight looking at it, guys. Instrument panel here. Obviously we'll go over this properly. Just showing you roughly what it's going to look like. Some HUD. Instrumentation there, our HUD there, which I notice is quite small on the actual HUD glass, which is interesting. Mirrors that we can drop down, obviously, and you can wiggle them about. Well, I thought we could. Yes, we can. We can wiggle them about. There you go. Where next? Stick, looking lovely and well modelled. You can have the pilot on with right shift and P. I have it off because it's almost impossible to see half of the controls, but there you go. I am a sexy pilot. Got some gauges, pneumatics down there by the looks of it. Fuel. Ramps, engine. Very primitive Soviet radar warning receiver. Look, it's digital. This is obviously a HUD repeater. It's not like the one in the flanker that's multi-purpose. It is not a MFD. A bank of warning lights, caution lights going on there. Navigation here. Stuff there, not turnable at the moment. What else have we got, guys? What is that there? That is air lever. There you go. We've got some, what appears to be radio / navigation here. We've got some lighting here, some mood lighting. We've got some ECS there, environmental. We can open the canopy if we want. We've got some more lighting. We've got stuff that is not modelled yet. It looks like probably IFF. Might be modelled at some point, might not. We'll see. Bit of engine, APU. Something that looks eerily like a nuclear bomb. Power panel there. Various systems there, obviously. Quick look back there. What have I missed, guys? So that's that. Look down here. There. Big ejection handle in the crotch. Air feed. And that's it. So what you would expect in 2025 of a Mig-29.
One of the things that people are going to ask about is either side of the HUD control. You've got these revolving mirrors.
Is that for your helmet mounted sight?
I believe so, yeah.
Ah, right. God, a 1980s Soviet tech. Interesting. World's most interesting tech, guys. Quick look at the kneeboard. Right shift and K or kilo viewers. We'll bring this up and we'll learn this properly, but obviously you've got navigation based stuff there. If you step through, page thing down at the bottom, you can see we've got interesting threats, and you can see what this was designed to go up against. Starfighters, F-4 Phantoms, SM-1, Talos, an old 1950s American missile, Tartar, Terrier, 1960s, Hawk sights here. Really old stuff. Seawolf, Vulcan, look, a Vulcan bomber, amazing. Anyway, getting ahead of myself now. Jaguars, who would be an idiot and fly Jaguar? Matrix, very good. And then a bunch of normal stuff. And next, viewers, I would like to have a look outside. So outside, the best thing I can do is just to zoom in and let you judge for yourself. Of course, the Soviet era fighters were designed to take off from rough runways, and so you have the ability to follow on. It's automatic. Pod gates here to close off the engine intakes and temporarily suck in air from above, and obviously that changes when airborne.
another point that might be worth mentioning whilst you're outside is that the undercarriage is also designed for rough field operation. A little bit delicate at the moment, but I think it'll be adjusted.
Roger.
But when you taxi it, it wallows around like a drunk pig.
I mean, look at the size of the balloon tyres, Matrix. It's so different to like an F-16. This is, you know, much more dainty. So absolutely, guys. I wonder if that's an IFF antenna. Those 3 prongs sticking out.
Yeah, it is. It's NATO code known as odd rods.
Odd rod. Right. I suppose this would have been one of the primary threats for you, Matrix, when you were flying, right? In the 1980s.
So it was introduced into service after I left the gang, so
Roger.
we mostly faced MiG-21s and 23s, but this would have been a much more potent threat.
Is that your countermeasure set there?
It seems a bit lacking in common sense to put dispensers on the top of the aeroplane where you have to use a ladder to replenish them.
Ah, yeah.
They do like flying low, so would be no sense to launch your flares directly into the ground.
Can you hear me better?
Hello, Doc. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
so
hear
the top of the wings is chaff, back of the plane is flare.
Ah, top of the wings is chaff. Back of the plane is flare.
Under the belly.
Roger. Yeah, I'll have to take your word for it for now, guys. I sort of see them, yeah. Yeah.
I see they reproduce the quality of Russian riveting really well.
Right? They don't believe in flush riveting. Next, viewers, let's have a look at sound quality. We'll do most of this in the air, but while we're here, let's just pause it and let's see what we can do down here. So we're going to have a handle on here. Allows us to do our brake pneumatics. Let's wind up those 2 climb off RD-33s inside. Sounds bloody fantastic outside. Beautiful. Whoa, sounds good, looks good, probably is good. Now it's time to fly it for the first time and I guess get a feel for her. So welcome into our first multiplayer session with it. We've got Simba in an F-16 because of course we're going to have to do a race, viewers. It'd be crazy not to. Matrix will be in a Fulcrum, Dark's in a Fulcrum, I'm in a Fulcrum. Dirty we've put in the low fidelity variant just to see if there are any obvious differences. There may be some small differences. Guys, please taxi to your right apart from Dirty, who will go left to the runway. Let's go. Alright, off you go, boys. This is not my first time, but this is literally my second time. I have a grand total of about 45 seconds in this aircraft so far in the air, so don't expect genius. Oh, first note, the turning circle! I'm good!
Yeah, there's you can increase the nose wheel steering authority if you have your flaps retracted whilst taxiing.
Is that right? Right, retracting flaps. Just trying to find the right button to retract the flaps. There we go. Yes, you're right. Look at that. I can turn on a dime now. All right, very good. To the runway, guys. First lesson learnt already. I'll go at the back with whoever's in the F-16. Simba, maybe. We'll do the... Look at that guy. He can't turn. Who's that? It has to be Dark. I mean, it has to be Dark, doesn't it?
You can also hold in your nose wheel steering, which gives you higher authority.
Dark, go next to Dirty. You guys will have a race for the lols, and then me and Simba will have the next race. Right, viewers, second time taking off. Now, very important to notice, viewers, because we put it English cockpit, the instrumentation is English. Well, you know what I mean, Imperial. So that is not kilometers an hour. That is feet, not meters. I made this mistake before and immediately blew my plane up because I didn't realise. Down here also, knots. Down here, feet. So, yeah, and it's not ahistoric because the A's that went to Germany were converted to Imperial for NATO, yeah. Are we going to have you anytime soon, Dark? It's not like you've been playing this thing for like 2 months. You did it! Dark! It really does bob about, doesn't it? we're going to have a race between new Fulcrum and old Fulcrum, otherwise identical. Guys, you're going to take off as best you can without blowing up, and then you're going to climb at high pitch and see how you go. Get ready. You may spool and hold, and 3, 2, 1, go! Not Simba, not Simba, just them two. Come back. Oh, it's like herding cats, viewers. It's like herding bloody cats. Right, they're identical. They're identical. Well, it could be kind of weird if they weren't, right? And dirty crashes. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe you've been introduced to the Grim Reapers.
Just a little bit.
Right, welcome to that. I'll catch up, Simba. Right, next, the race you've all been waiting for, F-16 versus me in the Fulcrum. Right, Simba,
I think I gotta adjust my axis and curves a little bit.
Yes, you do. Welcome to that old-ass flight model. I'm expecting this to be a lot better. My flaps are up, you're an automatic flap. Simba, spool and hold, but don't move, please. 2, 1, now. For the Warsaw Pack Pride! Oh, mine took too long to get to afterburner. Doesn't matter. I've got more power to weight than you, and you cannot beat physics. Come on, take off. No, you don't. No, you damn well. Can someone check my gears up? Yep. He's faster than me. Both full fuel, but otherwise clean. Put pylons on. He's faster than me. Ladies and gentlemen, F-16 still the champion. Up we go. Let's look at climb. Jeez, I've got a great big A-boat. Come on, Mig.
The sills are very high as well.
I'm catching him up. So he's faster off the get-go, but I'm catching him up. I'm catching him up. I know I'm going to run out of fuel because I've got 2 motors. Come on, Mig, please. I'm not going to catch him, am I? I'm not going to. No, we're not. 20,000 feet, F-16. I'm quitting now, guys, or I'm not stopping the race. Well done, Simba. We're going to do a proper version of that. That wasn't scientific, obviously, viewers. We'll do a proper version with all the planes in, but we'll worry about that later. But first impressions, F-16 slightly better off the get-go in terms of acceleration. Slightly. Guys, let's have more than 45 seconds of flying and see what it's like. So, first thing I note is that I'm less than 90 knots, and I'm not losing control, which is great. Now, viewers, this plane has this, the stick deflection limiter override. I guess a bit like the paddle in the F-18, but, you know, not quite the same, obviously, because this doesn't have a fly-by-wire system. There, I can pull it, and it lets me have direct control of the rear stabs, obviously. Overrides the system, and will let me do crazy things once I slow down, because I don't want to take my wings off.
And if the viewers wanted to know, I hit 31k.
Simply work your way down to me when you get a chance. Just have a little bit of dancing with these planes.
Are you in a left-hand orbit?
Yes, I am. I'm just going around fast.
I'm behind you.
Roger, I'm just showing the stick limiter off to the viewers. The first thing I have to say, viewers, as compared to the original Mig-29A DCS, it's night and day. It feels... I always hated the flight model in the original Mig-29. It just feels terrible and, to me, quite unrealistic. This feels a trillion times better, so I'm glad, because I really wanted to like this plane, and immediately I do, which is great. Nice over-wing vapors there. Look, I'm doing this at less than 80 knots, viewers. It feels like the F-22 mod with its thrust vector turned on. I can just do whatever I want. That's with stick deflection override on.
You need to be a bit ginger with the rudders.
Yeah. And because of its insane power, watch this. From 20 knots, I see you do that in an F-16 Simba, accelerating upwards. Unbefriggin-leavable. Ha! Boy, is my face red. Alright, Simba, if you're on my 6, chase me, see if you can catch up with my rate of turn once I get some speed back. Simba's got a canted back seat, so that's probably going to help him, but watch this. Must remember, this is in knots, not kilometers an hour. Right, he's on me. I'm guessing that's about optimum turn for my plane and his. Come on, Simba. Come on, dance with me. That must be my G limiter. G warning. I think he's struggling. Do you think he's struggling, guys?
No, you're slowly gaining an advantage.
Oh, Simba Wimba. Have we found an F-16 beater here? Maybe. I'm not trying very hard either. Question, viewers, should I use takeoff flaps? It feels like I'm going to be able to maneuver slower than you as well, Simba. Obviously, your plane likes 400 plus knots. Mine appears to be more hornety and like 300 knots. I'm going to give up there because we don't want to do it all day, but I felt a little bit... more comfortable in the Simba there, to be honest, which is good. And what he can't do is this crazy shit. Look at this. Yes, Matrix?
Yeah, compared to the Hornet, it's not nothing like as carefree at high on attacks. You do need to be careful with it.
Roger. I'm having great fun with it. I've not managed to put it in a spin yet, and I don't see any ventral control surfaces. It seems to be naturally quite well handling. Bear in mind, this is not fly-by-wire. This is old school freaking pusher rods, and Simba comes, but Simba's got to be faster, you see. Look how slow I can go, and I can just put my nose forward and friggin' F22 my way onto it. Zap, 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 dead, 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 dead. Anyway, sorry viewers, we're literally doing this for the first time. We found that absolutely fascinating. I'm just going to go do a little bit of handling, just general handling at the feel. In terms of the feel, how does it feel for you viewers? Feels like feels just right to me, to be honest. I'll tell you exactly what it feels like. It feels like the SU-27 from Core Game, the low fidelity variant, with a bit of F-16 spiciness added in. If I had to do that, it feels very analog, very trim heavy, unlike for instance an F-16 obviously. It feels like a bit like the old flanker with a bit more modernity and much more power. Well, not more power, but you know what I mean, more, you know, God, yeah, rudder's very spicy, isn't it? More thrust to weight ratio. Do I like it? So far I really like it. I haven't found anything I don't like yet. Obviously G, it seems to handle G pretty well. I haven't G'd out, which some planes do and get really annoying. Yeah, I would not want to be the arse end of this, if I'm honest. You're going to beat it with your AMRAAM at long range, but close range, I reckon this is going to friggin' dominate. I'm just full backstick, look. And it's just spinning around, it's perfectly happy. Now that flight model may change in later months, I don't know, we'll see. But so far, if you're going to ask me to shoot someone, it ain't going to happen, viewers. I haven't even set my controls up for shooting, and I don't know how to shoot stuff yet, or do anything. But so far, I'm really happy. You guys have had much more time, for reasons, obviously. Give me your impressions and any comments about it.
I mean, keep in mind it is the early access version, so there are still bugs and things to flush out. But overall, the flight model is a lot more pleasurable to fly than the FC3 variant. I think he's done a good job to get it to the point that it's at, and it's at a good point for release. But I just want people to know that yes, there are bugs. They're going to get ironed out, but it's a pleasure. It really makes flying the MiG-29 a lot more fun.
Roger, I really like it. This may be my new favourite once I actually learn to fly. Alright viewers, I don't think there's much more you can garner from us just prattling around. Obviously, go and buy it and get better than us very quickly. We're going to do some more videos on it. I hope you enjoyed that. And Alfreda's saying, let's see if the ejection seat works. It does!